तत्र तत्रांज जसायुष्मन्
तत्र तत्राञ्जसायुष्मन्
तत्र तत्रान्युष्यन्
भवता यद् विनिश्चितम्
भवता
भवता यत्
यद्विनिश्चितम्
विनिश्चितम्
पुंसाम् एकान्ततः श्रेयस्
पुंसाम् एकान्तशयस्
श्रेयस्
तन्न शंसितुम् अर्हसि.
तन्न
तन्न
संसितम्।
संसितम् अर्हसि.
Can I read?
Yeah.
Prabhu?
Someone like to read?
Okay. Translation. Please, therefore, being blessed with many, many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and the ultimate good for the people in general. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita, worship of the Acharya is recommended. The Acharyas and the Goswamis are always absorbed in the thought of the well-being of the general public, especially their spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being is automatically followed by material well-being. The Acharyas therefore give direction in spiritual well-being for people in general. Foreseeing the incompetencies of the people in this age of Kali or the iron age of coral, the sages requested that Sutta Goswami give a summary of all the revealed scriptures because the people of this age are condemned in every respect. The sages therefore inquired of the absolute good, which is the ultimate good for the people. The condemned state of affairs of the people of this age is described as follows. Hare Krishna.
So, please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. So, one of the factors, in the path of spiritual realization is also time. So, one may be blessed with phenomenal memory, one may be very pure in nature, but still, time spent in bhakti is also very important. Because by spending time in the devotional service, one acquires the experience of this world and spiritual processes. So one understands what is the nature of conditioned soul, one understands what is the absolute truth, how it is manifest within this material world, what is spiritual reality. So when one spends a lot of time in bhakti, many, many realizations come. Therefore, the sages are saying, being blessed with many years. So in this age of Kali, actually, people are very dull. They may be brilliant, they may be lawyers, doctors, engineers, or something, but spiritually they are dull. They are like animals. Or as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, Dvipada Pashu. They may be very sophisticated, designing aircraft, or arguing toughest cases, or researching human body, but actually their brains are animalistic. If you see, for example, even in the animal kingdom, there are animals which are brilliant, like beavers in North America. They make phenomenal dams. They block up rivers for kilometers and they make huge dams. But that doesn't mean they're intelligent. They're dull. They're animals, dumb animals. So, if a human being also is only engaged in the activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then he's also just an animal. Dharmena hina pashu hira samana. So, one who doesn't have a fiery desire to attain the absolute truth, then one is only on the platform of being an animal, nothing more than that. So, this is the position in this age of Kali. Therefore, the sages are requesting Suta Goswami to explain the process by which the living entities can be delivered. You know, you have what you have ascertained. So, please explain to us what you have ascertained to be absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. Hare Krishna. Yes, let's continue. Next verse. प्रायेण अल्पायुषः सभ्य
प्रायेण
प्रायेणाल्पायुष्य सभ्य
कलावस्मिन् युगे जनाः
कलावस्मिन् युगे च
मंदाः सुमन्दमतयो
मन्दास्मन्दमतयो
मंदभाग्या ह्युपादृतः
मन्दे भाग्या
भाग्याभिपादृता
Yeah. Would someone like to read?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Purport. The devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisaranya realized the state of affairs of the people of this in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened, not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, over-sense gratification, over-dependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened. People of this age are also very lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self realization. The human life is especially meant for self realization. That is to say, man should come to know what he is and what the world is, what the supreme truth is. Human life is a means by which the living entity can end all the miseries of the hard struggle for life in material existence, and by which he can return to Godhead, his eternal home. But due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self realization. Even if they come to know about it, they unfortunately become victims of misguided teachers. In this age, men are victims not only of different political creeds and parties, but also of many different types of sense gratificatory diversions, such as cinema, sport, gambling, clubs, mundane libraries, bad association, smoking, drinking, cheating, pilfering, bickering, and so on. Their minds are always disturbed and full of anxieties due to so many different engagements. In this age, many unscrupulous men manufacture their own religious faith, which are not based on any revealed scriptures. And very often, people who are addicted to sense gratification are attracted by such institutions. Consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried on that people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. The student brahmachari communities are no longer being maintained, and householders do not observe the rules and regulations of the grihastha ashrama. Consequently, the so-called vanaprasthas and sannyasis who come out of such grihastha ashramas are easily deviated from the right path, from the rigid path. In the Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with faithlessness. Men are no longer interested in spiritual values. Material sense gratification is now the standard of civilization. For the maintenance of such civilization, for such material civilization, man has formed complex nations and communities. And there is a constant strain of hot and cold wars between these different groups. It has become very difficult, therefore, to raise a spiritual standard due to the present distorted values of human society. The sages of Naimisaranya are anxious to disentangle all fallen souls, and here they are seeking the remedy from Srila Sutta Goswami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, brother. Hmm. Oh, learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. So, first of all, means that human duration is very short, human life. Like, for example, if you read medical journals, you'll find out that diseases like diabetes and fatty liver and all were not common even 20 years ago because of unnecessarily eating large quantities of lots of unprocessed food. People's health has deteriorated. In general, people have very bad food habits. In the medieval ages, actually, to this tooth cavities, etc., did not have such frequent occurrence as now because people were not eating too much sugar. People are eating very regulated food, only thrice a day or twice a day. Nowadays, people eat practically five, six, 7 times a day, munching on something all the time. Digestion itself is lost. So many diseases of health have come simply because of irregular habit. Overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence on another's mercy. This is a very interesting point. Oversense gratification, we know people are addicted to smartphones, internet, etc. Oversense gratification. Like in the previous ages, people would watch one movie once a month or once a week, and that was enough entertainment. Now every hour movies are being streamed and people are watching them every day. Over dependence on another's mercy. You can see, like, right now we're talking on the internet. Internet depends on a service provider, hardware provider, then it depends upon electricity service, broadband service. So many services, we are dependent on so many people. If internet is shut down, practically the whole country comes to a standstill. And this didn't even exist 20 years ago. Even in India, internet was very uncommon 20 years ago. But now everyone is addicted to it. We have become helpless. People are using apps, smartphones, and they have become completely dependent on them. If the telecom network goes down, everything will shut down. So you see, this is over dependence. We have created systems over systems, and now we're living a very precarious lifestyle. No one even knows how to grow a potato, and yet they think they are very sophisticated. So, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. And this Srila Prabhupada is writing 50 years ago. You can imagine how much the condition has deteriorated now. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened because we are overeating in over gratifying senses. We are over dependent on others. We have artificial standards of living. Because of all this, what is happening is that we are living in excessive anxiety. At all times, there is anxiety. Therefore, we are suffering, and because of that, the body deteriorates faster than it should. The people of this age are also very lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self realization. Yes, in this age, who cares? Who cares? Like even devotees. I remember one very famous devotee once said that, why do you want to scratch too much into stuff? Brahmachari, no less. He said that, it's unnecessary to dig too deep into Bhagavad Gita. It's okay to just know something. So you can see that even the so-called renunciates in this age are lazy in the matter of self-realization. Dharma swanisthita pumsham vishwaksena kathasuya notpaded ratim yadi shram eva hi kevalam. So if so much of labor we are doing in this life, if we are not realizing the Supreme, shram eva hi kevalam, then we are no better than animal. Then we are just, wasting our time. Shram eva hi kevalam. This is just so much of useless effort. So if a renunciate of all the people just runs here and there, speaking stories without trying to understand the absolute truth, then that's even worse. Because renunciate depends on others' mercy, others' money for sustenance. He's actually taking their karma. Like Prabhupada says, better to be a beggar on the sweeper on the street than to be a charlatan. Because a sweeper is taking some money, but he's rendering some service. But a charlatan is just taking money, but he's not rendering any service. He's cheating people. Such a person is destined to reach the darkest regions of hell. Hmm. So that is to say, man should come to know what he is, what the world is, and what the supreme truth is. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So human life is means by which living entity can end all the miseries of hard struggle for life. Uttishta Jagrat Prape Varan Nibodhata. Shurasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya. So Durgam Pathastat Kavayo Vadanti. So Uttishta Jagrat. Now awake, arise and see what great boon you have received in the form of human birth. And now if you are engaging in animal propensities, my children, my house, my car, then no better than animal. Then Punah Mushika Bhava. Then the material nature will push us back into animal life. Okay, you just wanted to enjoy children, food, travel. Okay, become an animal. Enjoy it there. Elephants have children living till 20, 30 years. They also travel great distances. They eat a lot. So why be a human then become an animal? Because that's what you really enjoy. So, but why is all this happening? Hmm. So in this age, men are victims not only of but due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self-realization. So what is bad education? What do we teach to our children? ABC 1, 2, 3. Then we teach mathematics, more higher mathematics, more languages, literature, mundane literature. As a result of that, the child becomes more and more mundane. Actually, in the Varnashram system, a child is taught renunciation, detachment. But in today's age, children are taught to be more and more attached. What is this? Like, the latest and greatest fad in India is this IIT JEE and UPSC. But what do children really do? They spend valuable hours, valuable memory just learning physics, chemistry, mathematics, or some useless subject like history of India or something. And what happens because of that? The sanskaras are formed very deeply in the mind. Especially, I have seen IIT. People study so hard that these impressions are very deep in the mind. And even when the IIT is finished, they're not able to come out of it. It completely blocks their urge for self-realization. So therefore, this kind of bad education is spoiling the mind and the future of the children. And what happens because of that? When they come from this education system, they are certainly not eligible. They are not certainly brahmacharis. Brahmacharati iti brahmacharya. One who is living on a spiritual platform is a brahmachari. Living on the spiritual platform is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya doesn't mean celibacy. Celibacy is just one aspect of brahmacharya. If you are a bachelor, celibate bachelor, and you are designing cars or running rockets, you are not a brahmachari. You are a mundaner only. So when children are not taught brahmacharya, they are just taught some basic celibacy, which is also not taught really nowadays. If they are just taught basic activities and they just learn mundane subject matter, how will they become vanprastha or sannyasi? Therefore, they fall down. So, right from the very childhood, children should be taught the value of detachment and renunciation. Actually, in the Vedic culture, Pauganda, 8, is the time when a child is sent to Gurukul to study under a spiritual master. And then he studies there until throughout all his youth. And then he comes back to study, then he comes back to home to lead a grahastha life. So, in the absence of brahmacharis, actually, even grahasthas, vanprasthas, sannyasis are all corrupted and they're very easily deviated. If one has grown up associating with the opposite sex, how will such a person develop detachment? So, this kind of atmosphere is completely pervading all of Kali Yuga. So, therefore, there is no interest in spiritual values. So, the sages, being noble souls, they are very much aggrieved. A Vaishnava means paradukha. Vaishnava means paradukha dukhi, one who feels the other's pain. So the sages, they feel the pain of the living entities born in Kali Yuga. They're feeling the pain of human beings of Kali Yuga. Therefore, they're asking this question. Hare Krishna. Yes. Any question or comments? Okay.
Hare
Can we stop
Krishna.
here today? Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. It can help us to identify more on these lines, Prabhuji. Like, consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried out on that in people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. Like, any one, two examples you can tell in the name of religion, so many religious sinful acts.
Yeah, what is this nonsense Hindutva?
Hmm.
What is people talk about the Hindutva, but what is the meaning of Hindutva? Ask anyone. Just going to some temple, I am Hindu. Is that Hindutva? What does that even mean actually? Taking a Persian word, an Arabic word, and calling it religion, Hindutva. You're mixing Sanskrit with Arabic here. So what kind of nonsense is this? This is the best example because this is the most common.
So,
Every religion is completely degraded. Christianity, Islam, Hindutva, even our own Vaishnavism. You know, what's the use of this kind of practice?
they are
Either one should.
using a non Vedic word, and they are creating hatred to other religions also using this word.
Yeah, yeah. And what are the principles of this Hindutva? Does anyone know? Is there some formal constitution written for this Hindutva? Some guidelines, okay, you are a Hindutvavadi, so please, these are the rules you should follow. No, someone is chewing on chicken, someone is chewing mutton, someone is drinking alcohol, and oh, we are all Hindus. This is complete hypocrisy, nonsense, garbage. And then we are throwing stones at saying this is Muslim, this is Christian. This is all rubbish. Like, especially in our state where we are living, it's common to eat mutton and garlic. So, what kind of Hindu is that? That's nonsense, hypocrisy. So, if you're eating goat and sheep, and if you're eating, this garlic and onion, then you are Muslim. You're not Hindu. So this is best example of cheating religion. But then there are so many others. Renunciates, subtly associating with Matajis and claiming, okay, we are renunciate. Oh no, I don't want to get married, but I must associate with Matajis. This Mataji cooks nicely, that Mataji sings nicely. No, that is violation of brahmacharya. Brahmachari means no female. That's it. Nothing. No mother, no sister, nothing. You are just you and Krishna and the spiritual master. That's brahmachari. Not that, okay, subtly I'm coming, oh, this Mataji makes nice South Indian food, this Mataji makes nice North Indian food, and then associating, subtly trying to associate. No, that's subtle illicit sex. Well, that has to be avoided at all costs. So this is also cheating in the name of religion. See, the
This will
brahmachari communities
this
are
will
no longer
cause
being maintained.
this will be deterioration for the purity of the brahmachari himself as well as the persons to whom he is preaching.
Yes, of course, because they all take that as a standard.
So we can.
It's all right. I can flirt with Matajis. Who cares? No. Completely. This is poison.
So unfortunately, we were even taking up brahmacharya or sannyas. Many of so-called devotees are very frivolent in maintaining the standards. Like many times
Yes.
I've seen there are meetings where there are only Matajis and there is only a single senior Prabhuji. That's all. They're not even taking
No,
any
that's wrong.
precautions. And they do
No.
it every time. And sometimes
One should stay away.
we as grastas give them a hint that this is not the best practice, but they don't heed, they don't pay any heed to it. So then we can see
Yeah, it's all right.
they are getting diluted in their message also, and many times they are changing the ashram also, and that is such an unfortunate
This,
thing to happen.
yeah, so we can ignore such society. It's not that we have to stay compulsorily. You can ignore such society and move away. Because, the best charity you can do is save yourself.
Correct. So it is
So we have to avoid such a situation.
very important that we understand the quality of association. It's not about just speaking good words. It is about speaking the words of the scriptures and the repeating the words of the acharya. Not about some glorious, great signs which not there in the regular scriptures or just speaking some lofty words. So people generally get
Yeah, of course.
motivated by these things,
Yeah.
by presentations, by soothing words, and they forget why are we here? Why are we in a spiritual organization? Why are we in the pure movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And this is for Janma Sartakari, like purifying our own life first. Otherwise, what is the purpose of being in a spiritual organization and
Yeah.
putting our time and energy? So it is both sides actually. The person who are guiding, at the same time, the person who are taking. It is both responsibility that they know what is the objectivity of meeting or objectivity of association.
Yeah. So we should avoid such association. It's just going to degrade us. Okay, so we stop here tonight. I'm feeling very sleepy. Thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Srila
Hare Krishna,
Prabhupada ki
Prabhuji. Thank
jai.
you so much.
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki
Krishna.
jai. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
You're feeling a little bit better, Prabhuji.
Krishna, Pranam.
Dhanwad.